Hi guys, Dr. Mel here. We're busy with the Doppler effect in physics. And remember, it's the changing of frequencies that we are working with. Just quickly a revision. Can you see that the frequency is changing here and the wavelengths are getting shorter? Can you see that this wave is moving that way, changing the frequency? So be careful that you do not confuse the wavelengths and the frequencies. They are indirectly proportional. The listener will the sound will depend where the listener is. Can you see here? I've got a listener standing this side with this source moving towards the listener. Therefore, I've got a higher frequency, and in terms of what we hear, is it's a louder sound or a higher pitch. This listener is standing this side, and because the source is moving away, it's a lower frequency or a softer sound. So that's what Doppler is about. What do we hear? Is it a louder or a softer sound? And that depends on the frequency. Can you see the high frequency here? The increasing frequency will make the sound louder. And that indicates to me that the source is moving towards the listener. So the frequency is getting higher. And when the source is moving away, can you see here the frequency is lower? So let's get to the equation. We usually get the velocity of sound in air, so that's a constant, or they might ask me to calculate that. And here I've got the frequency that the listener hears, and here is what the source is making. So that's where the sound is coming from, and that's what you're hearing. So it depends on the movement of the source, away or towards. Let's get to the definition, and I'm not going to do it with all the questions, so listen carefully. It's the change in frequency that you hear because of the sound that the source makes with different velocities of this medium. So be careful. I've got the listener hearing a different sound because the source is either moving towards or away, or it might be the listener. It doesn't need to be the source because there's a change in velocities. And that's what my equation actually tells me. Right. Just again, if the source moves towards the listener, I know I will get a higher frequency. If the listener is moving to the source, I'll get a higher frequency. That means this number has to be higher. It's an increase. Therefore, I'm going to put a plus at the top and a minus at the bottom. Can you see that? I'm going to deduct the velocity of the source from the velocity of sound because it's moving towards me. On the other hand, if the source is moving away or the listener is moving away, the source will be, can you see here, will be a lower frequency that you hear, and therefore this will be a plus at the bottom, the frequency of the source, and I'll deduct the velocity of the listener at the top. Be careful. It's not difficult. You just have to think a little bit. So again, I've got the velocities and the frequencies. Can you see here? I've got the frequency of the listener and the velocity of the listener. I've got the frequency of the source and the velocity of the source. And just make sure that you allocate the correct signs. A question is put to you with the following detail. The siren of a stationary ambulance emits a note of frequency of 1130 Hertz. When the ambulance moves at a constant speed, a stationary observer detects the frequency to be 70 Hertz, not 70 Hertz, but higher than emitted by the siren. First question, state the Doppler effect. We already went through the theory. It's the change in frequencies. And the second question is, what is the question? Well, it says here, is the ambulance moving towards or away? What's the direction? Now you see it was initially 1130, but it's now 70 higher, so it's 1200 Hertz. So if the listener is hearing a higher frequency or a louder sound, it has to be moving towards you. So that would be your indication. In a following question, they asked me to calculate the speed at which the ambulance is traveling. So that's the velocity or speed of the source, and they give me the velocity of sound. So let's go and complete my equation. I've got values that I can substitute. You always write down the equation as in your information sheet, and you then complete what you have. I've got the velocity of the listener, it was stationary, and I've got the velocity of the speed of sound. That's what I have. Can you see I'm completing that up there? And then I had the two frequencies. The frequency of the source, and I've got the frequency that the listener heard, which was 1200 hertz. So, if this ambulance is traveling towards you, what will happen with the number? It will be a plus and a minus. So I've got 1200 is equal to these velocity changes and that frequency. Now there's two ways that you can do this calculation. You can say this is 1200 times, take this up there, 343 plus Vs is equal to 343 times 1130. That will give me an answer of 343 plus Vs, because I'm gonna divide this with the 1200, and then I got to answer this side of 322.991, and then I'm going to calculate. Let me quickly write that down neatly. It's 322.991, and my Vs is now 20.008 meter per second. I could have done it another way. I could actually, I'm just going to quickly show you, multiply those two with each other. Then I would have got an answer of 4110600, and multiply the 1200 with that. That would be your value. And this side, I then had 343 times 1130, which would have given me a value of 387590. So what do I have? I can just deduct these two from each other. I've got 1200 Vs is equal to 24010, and my Vs is 20.008 meter per second. So it doesn't really matter in which way you manipulate the math, but you'll get exactly the same answer. Right, let's go to another question. They're giving me a graph showing me the relationship between the apparent frequency that the listener hears, can you see there, of the sound heard by a stationary listener, and the velocity of the source. Can you see I've got the source's velocity there towards the listener. Now let's just have a look at the graph. The graph says to me the velocity of the source when it was 0 was 800. Then the velocity increased to 10, then to 20, then to 30, to 40, towards, remember. And you can see the sound that the listener is listening to is increasing. There it was 825. It seems like in the half there, then there, then there, and then there. Can you see it's actually increasing? Right. First question, state the Doppler effect, which we've covered. Use the graph to calculate the speed of the sound in air. Now we can calculate the sound in air by reading the values that we've got there. So I'm going to say that is what we want to calculate. I'm always writing down my source equation, and then I see what I have. I went on the graph and I said, let me take the value here. I've got the listener's frequency there, 825, and I've got the velocity of the source there as 10. So I'm going to substitute that with 825. I do not have that. I know it's a stationary listener. I do not have that, but I know the source was traveling at 10 meter per second, and I've got the source, the frequency of the source there. I've got 825, and I'm going to take this up there. V minus 10 is equal to V times 800, and I've got 825V minus 8250 is equal to 800V. And if you deduct the 800 and the 825, you get 25V is equal to 8250, giving me the value of the source's velocity or speed as 330 meter per second. So remember, initially we started with the 800. Can you see where I got that 800? I then had a value of 850. Can you see where I got the 825, the 825, and I had that velocity as 10. So the V of sound, this is sound, the velocity of sound is 330. Can you see that's what we calculated now? Right, let's go to a second part of that same question. They asked me to sketch a graph of the apparent frequency versus the velocity of sound. So what do I have? I'm drawing my X and Y axes. On my Y axis, I've got my frequency that the listener heard with my unit. And here I've got the velocity of the source in meter per second. And what did I hear? It went down. The sound that the velocity created, because it's moving down, the frequency decreased. So that would give you full marks. A final question. A police car is moving at a constant velocity with its siren on. So I've got a sound coming from the police car as it passes a stationary listener. The graph shows the changes in the frequency of the sound as detected by the listener. Now let's have a look at the graph. It starts at 170 hertz and then it goes down to 130. So the listener is firstly hearing a sound of 170 and then hearing a sound of 130. What do they ask me to calculate? They firstly want to know the theory, the Doppler effect, and then they want us to write down the frequency that the sound was, that the listener detected when it approaches the listener and when it moves away. Now you can see when it approaches, it will be the higher value. So it's 170 hertz. And when it moves away, it will be the 130 hertz. So just go back to your source of information, which is your graph. The final question says, calculate the speed of the police car. So they want us to calculate the V of the source and take the speed of sound as 340. So what do we have? We've got a few pieces of information. We've got firstly our equation, and I'm writing that down immediately when I get these questions because that actually gives you a mark. What did I have? I had the initial frequency that the listener heard, and I had, let me quickly see, I had the V, and I know it's going to become, oh, that we had, it's 340. We can write that down. Plus 0 is equal to 340 minus Vs, which we don't have, and we didn't have the Fs. So let's do that and say this is equation 1 that we're working with. And there we've got 340 Fs. And if we do a calculation, let's just leave that at that. Let's say that's equation 1. I also had another piece of information. I've got the same equation, but I've got different data. And let's put that in a second equation. I've got the one, was it 130? I have 340 again. I've got minus 0, and I've got 340 plus Vs because it's moving away. And here I had Fs. 130 times 340 plus Vs is equal to 340 Fs. Now, can you see here that I've got equation 1, which is 340 Fs, and I've got equation 2, which is 340 Fs. And I'm now going to take these two and equalize them so that I've got a simultaneous equation. So on the one side, I had 170, 340 minus Fs, and on the other side, I had 130, 340 plus Fvs. So I've got that because, and remember, that was the important thing. We had them equal here. We said it's 340 Fs, 340 Fs. So let's complete our calculations. If you do the calculations like I do, you're going to find that you get values that looks like this. And this is 44200 plus 130 Vs. And can you see I can take these to one side and get 300 Vs. And I can also take this to that side and get a value of 13600. And if you now want to calculate your velocity or speed of the source, you'll get an answer of 45.33. Please don't forget that. 45.33 meter per second. A simultaneous equation because I had two sets of data. Right. Are you able to state the effect of Doppler? Remember, it's the velocities that's making the change in the frequency of the source, and the listener is hearing either a louder sound or a softer sound. I have to be able to explain the change in pitch if it's moving towards or away, so you have to be able to indicate the directions and solve problems exactly like we did. And please remember that they will ask you some application, and we did that in the first lesson, where you can check your blood and you can hear a heartbeat of a baby or even use it in speed traps. Enjoy Doppler. Bye-bye.